Buckingham Palace is being pressured to remove Prince Archie and Princess Elizabeth from the UK's royal line of succession until the Duchess provides absolute proof that she popped out both babies.
Harry and Meghan's baby story is back in the headlines. And this time, it isn't the fairy tale version. In this video, you're going to see why their pregnancy and birth timeline triggered so much suspicion, how media figures like Candace Owens jumped on the gaps, why the palace's own protocol made it worse, and how one messy set of details turned into full-blown conspiracy theories online. By the end, you'll understand exactly why people don't believe the official story, without us inventing facts, without us pretending to be doctors, and without getting sued.
Scandal has entered the mainstream media domain.
It sounds fake. What if one of the most celebrated royal births wasn't what we were told?
So listen closely. Let's start here. When Archie was born, the public expected the classic royal rollout. Palace statement, press informed, photos, a clean timeline. Instead, what they got was delay, privacy, and shifting explanations. That mismatch is where all of this began. When you change the pattern, people assume you're hiding something. And when the people changing the pattern are Harry and Meghan, two people who said they wanted the spotlight on their terms, that suspicion instantly
This scandal comes as no surprise. Speculation about the children has been simmering for years.
doubled. For years, the couple framed Archie's arrival as a private, controlled, modern birth. Nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, they were still playing in a royal system that is built on protocol, visibility, and trust. You can't say, we're royal, celebrate with us, and also, we're private, don't ask questions, and not expect the press to start digging. That tension, public role, private rules, is what opened the door for critics. Then Harry published his memoir. That book was supposed
Does it make you sound like a better mom? It makes you sound like really kind of into yourself?
to end the questions. Instead, it created new ones. He described Meghan giving birth at a luxury hospital, having interventions, and then leaving very, very quickly. To regular people, that sounded glamorous. To people who actually work in medicine or have had kids, it sounded odd. Not impossible, not criminal, just unusually fast. And when something sounds unusual, the internet turns it into suspicious. Enter commentators. Candace Owens and others looked at that version of events and said, hold on, why are the details different every time they tell it? And that is a fair media question.
Describes her very well, and he does this by taking a look.
Absolute media manipulation. But I thought tonight this was really ridiculous.
When you tell the story three different ways, privacy, then complications, then press timing, people will pick the version that makes the least sense and run with it. That's how we got from the palace didn't tell us right away to were we told the whole truth? And here's what really fanned the flames. Royal births usually follow a script. The Queen, now the King, is told first. The press is informed in a timely way. The country is informed. Photos are released. Everyone claps. With Archie, reporters said they got mixed messages. Some were told Meghan was in labor when she actually wasn't. Others said the baby was already born before the announcement. That kind of timeline chaos is rare in the royal machine. So instead of, a baby is born, the headline became, why is this baby's birth being handled differently? That's the pivot point. Now, let's be clear, because this matters for your channel and your audience. There is a huge difference between asking, why is this timeline messy? And declaring, this child wasn't born the way they said. One is commentary. The other is an allegation about a real minor. And that's where a lot of channels got reckless. They skipped the middle part, the part where you analyze PR, palace protocol, and media handling, and they jumped straight to the most shocking possibility. That's good for clicks. It's terrible for credibility. Let's talk about the actual, on-the-record contradictions people point to. Number 1, the speed. Harry described a birth, medical assistance, and then home shortly afterward. A lot of moms saw that and said, that's not how it went for me. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means it didn't match the average person's experience. Whenever a high-profile person gives a version of childbirth that sounds easier, it gets backlash. Add Meghan's public support for maternal health, and people expected her to model that this is hard and monitored path, not that I was home in hours path. Number 2, the privacy explanation kept moving. Was it privacy? Was it complications? Was it security? All three can be true, but when you tell them in different orders, people think you're workshopping the story. In PR, consistency is everything. In royal PR, inconsistency looks like concealment. Number 3, Portland Hospital and the secret details. Harry talked about discreet access, food movement. Later, supposed insiders said, that's not exactly how it works. That doesn't prove anything sinister. It does prove that the story was polished. And every time the public sees polish, they assume there's something under the polish, and this is where Candace Owens comes in. She didn't create the suspicion. She harvested it. She saw that people were already whispering, already confused, already comparing baby photos, already talking about, why didn't we get the usual royal reveal? And she said the quiet part out loud. Why is this birth being treated like classified material? That's why her clips went viral. Not because she had the documents. Because she said the thing the palace refused to address directly. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody at the palace wants to admit. The more you refuse to tidy up a timeline, the more the internet will build its own. And the internet does not build gentle timelines. It builds dramatic ones. If you don't give people a simple, boring, plausible story, they will write one for you, featuring surrogates, NDAs, hospital cover-ups, and angry courtiers. Not because that's what happened, but because that kind of story is emotionally satisfying. As oh, what was the royal family actually protecting? Probably not a scandal, but a hierarchy. Royal births aren't just family moments. They're constitutional events. They affect lines of succession, titles, security, and international coverage. If there was anything at all out of the ordinary, timing, health, travel, security, even something as basic as we don't want 40 photographers outside, they were going to lock it down. That lockdown is what created the vacuum. And that vacuum is where YouTube, TikTok, and commentary channels went crazy. Now, let's zoom out. What does this whole saga actually tell us?